And finally, the inner thoughts of Margaret Thatcher and the inner workings of her cabinet during the riots of 1981 have been revealed for the first time by the release of formerly secret documents. The papers show that ministers discussed allowing riot-torn Liverpool to slide into decline. Rupert Evelyn has been looking through the archives.
The private government papers of 1981 are an insight into both the Prime Minister herself and her closest cabinet colleagues. In Toxteth, the people fought the law and the politicians battled over a solution. Liverpool needed investment, Environment Secretary Michael Heseltine told Margaret Thatcher. But then Chancellor Geoffrey Howe was loath to overspend, at one point suggesting the city be abandoned in a managed decline.
I felt this was on my watch, and that's why I went to the Prime Minister and said this is not just about policing and law and order, important though that is. I want to find out what really is going wrong in this city.
He's going to secure victory over this particular Tory government. I'm not going to understand that.
The reality was that they never intended at all to give one single penny to Liverpool, and far from giving a penny, they actually took a lot of money away. And I think what we're seeing now is not only proof of that, but a vindication of the stand that we took in Liverpool all those years ago.
The National Archive reveals the Prime Minister's attempt to drive through spending cuts and the warnings against it.
Some issues remain as sensitive today as they were 30 years ago. This Foreign Office memo from the time talks about defence cuts, specifically the defence of the Falkland Islands. Now, government officials today still don't want us to know some parts of it, and therefore they've been withheld.
Just like this year, the themes of 1981 centred on a royal wedding, riots and spending cuts. History does indeed have a habit of repeating itself, although we may have to wait for future archive releases to find out whether Margaret Thatcher is the only Prime Minister to spend their own money on an ironing board for number 10. Rupert Evelyn, ITV News at the National Archive in Kew.
Well, just before we go, a look ahead at tomorrow night.